you, everybody. Thank you, Jesse. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here tonight. So for those of you who haven't seen me before, I'm actually from a island in Nova Scotia called Cape Breton Island. Woo! Yeah, oh, Cape Breton's in the house, awesome. So this island, we are world famous for our hospitality, okay? And I thought tonight I would share a story about just how hospitable we are. So about 1 year ago, I had just started dating this guy, and we had 2 dates, and they had gone off amazing. I was like super into him, and I was really excited for our 3rd date. And I'm not sure how this idea got into my head, but I was like, you know what would be a good idea to do before my 3rd date? I am going to get my first ever Brazilian wax. And I don't know how that idea, like maybe it was because he was Brazilian. I was like, oh, like a Brazilian wax will help you get a Brazilian boyfriend, like, or I don't know, maybe it was like my hometown hospitality kicking in, where it's like, if you're gonna have like a visitor over, you gotta make sure your house is cleaned up first, right? So I wasn't sure like what it was, but whatever it was, my ADHD brain took that and just fucking went with it. So the next thing I know, I'm sitting on Google and I'm Googling like Brazilian wax for men in Toronto. And I ended up finding a place on the Danforth, and they had same day availability. But the only thing was that you had to book online, which, okay, that's good enough. But there was one question on the form where it was just like, do you have any information for the staff you'd like to let us know? Leave below. And you could free type. And I was like nervous about my first ever Brazilian. And when I get nervous, I get really chatty. And I took this as an opportunity to just like let it rip. So I actually took a screenshot of what I said. And I literally started the message with, brace yourself, period. I said, just so you know, I am a very large and hairy gay man who has never had his ass waxed before, and I am so sorry for making you do this. I said, but I think that I might be in love, and we've all done crazy things for love before, right? So it was literally like a Dear Diary moment, and I just kind of went with it. So anyway, I show up to my appointment, I'm like all embarrassed because I totally overshared in the booking information. And I get to the front desk and the girl goes to check me in and she's like, hey, just so you know, we have a student in today in training. And we wanted to know if she could shadow the esthetician as you get your procedure done. And in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I'm already terrified of like having one person venture to like where no woman has ever gone before. And now I'm like, there's gonna be a student like lurking in the corner with like a clipboard. She's like taking notes for like her ass waxing exam later. And ass waxing, it's all pretty similar. So anyway, I wait in the lobby for like 5 minutes, which felt like an hour. And these 2 women come out and they introduce themselves. She's like, hi, my name is Stephanie and this is the student. Student introduces herself. I'm like, oh, thank you. They lead me down to the room, and they're like, okay, so you're gonna get in there, strip butt naked, and then lay down on the table. They said, put this towel over your buttocks, and we'll be back in a minute. And so to call it a towel is a little generous. It was more like a cocktail napkin. So I laid down, I got naked, I laid down, I'm waiting there for Stephanie and the trainee, and they come in, and before they like even get started, I was like, Stephanie, like, I'm so sorry, like, this has to be a really, like, bad day at work for you. And she was like, oh my God, she's like, no, don't even worry about it. She's like, I love my job. I actually find it very therapeutic. And she's like, you might not think this about me because I'm a 5'1" little Italian woman. She's like, but she's like, I'm actually filled with a lot of rage. And this, like, lets me get it all out. I was like, oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm glad I can be a part of your self-care journey today. So I'm like laying there, and Stephanie like dives into her therapy, and my ass is like burning with the heat of 1,000 suns. I'm laying there, and I'm just like, oh my God, what have I even done? Why am I here right now? And so anyway, she could tell that I was like a little uncomfortable, so she starts talking to me. She's like, so I read your booking information, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I am so sorry. She's like, no, don't you dare apologize. She was like, I think it's sweet what you are doing. She's like, we've all been in love, and I think it's sweet that you're doing this for a man, and any man would be so lucky to have you. I was like, like, girl, Stephanie's a babe. She was like a true ally. I was like, yes, thank you. I was like, I am a catch, you're right. And so Stephanie then proceeded to like voraciously wax my ass for the next like 30 to 40 minutes, like with reckless abandon. She was just like throwing it down. And I'm trying not to cry. The intern is in the corner, like taking notes. And so, anyway, we end up wrapping it up after like 30 to 40 minutes. I give her like $150 tip because I was just like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think like what would Taylor Swift like tip her as factor. So I'm just like, oh, you deserve a lot, and I just like gave her $150. And then so she leaves. Oh my god, thank you so much. Come back anytime. I'm like, yeah, never. So as I'm like walking down the hallway on my way out, I'm like limping, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, did you make a good decision today? Like, is this going to be worth it? Like what you just put yourself through? And here I am 1 year later, and I am happy to report that it was in fact worth it because, guys, 2 weeks ago, this man asked me to marry him. And I said, Thank you. 31 years. I had my Netflix moment, and here we go. So, ladies, babes in the audience, if any of you are like wondering how to take your relationship to the next level, I would highly recommend that you go online when you get home and book Stephanie the Waxer on Danforth. Thank you so much.